Okay, so I'm going to do this one more time because I have to try to figure out what happened here. So, yeah, that's where I found it. That's where I found that 2/3 that says that it's going to be in June, but that's totally different. Yeah, see. Oh, I didn't even know they had this. Okay. All right, so in 2025, we went in January, March, May, June. Okay, now June 17 and 18, and July, and then in August, and then in September. So, yep, there it is, 28 and 29. So, see, uh, back in January, back in June, it says 17 and 18. So let me see when it went through. Yep, okay. Now, 17 and 18. So it's at about 34. Now, if I remember right, they said they didn't change in that meeting. Then, let's see, when does it start to pick up? It starts to pick up right at the end of August, close to early September. Okay. So let's see what they said here. Notation. Okay. They didn't say anything there, though. There it is. So they decided to lower it. It says it right there, and they released this on September 17th. But I remember that people anticipated this before it happened. So they cut it September 17th ish. Okay. And by that time it had already risen to 37. So it had already risen by quite a bit. It gets released on this day that they're going to lower the interest rate, and then it skyrockets. and then 28 and 29 is right in here. Right? And did they cut it again? It seems to suggest that they would. I can't even remember, but the thing goes up. So let's see. Did it go up or did the rates go down? The committee decided to lower the target range by a quarter percent. There it is. Okay, so both those times it was lowered. December 9, 10. Looks like they cut it again. Did they? Let's see. Decided to lower the target rate to a 0.25%. See? So every time they cut it, it rises by a lot. So that pushed it all the way. That was the last time they did a rate cut, if I remember right. It was back in December. I might be wrong though. I'm going to check the rest of it, but let's see. Okay, so that was another cut. So it goes up to here. So then what happens here? January 19th. Let's check 26. Okay, here we go. January 27 and 28 of 26. Let's see what happened there. This is the last day that it was way up here. Yep. By the 28th of January, this thing was at its peak. It actually hit about 5,400. I remember that. So, what do you think they decided on January the 28th? They're not going to do a rate cut then. So, apparently somebody anticipated that they were going to do another rate cut, but they didn't. Let's see what happened. Maintain the target range. There it is. So they are maintaining it, and the last time that they made a change was in December when they had cut it. So in between December 9 and 10 and January 28, that's the cut. Now they're maintaining it, they said, but they had cut it way back in December. So that's this. So then people are saying this spike is unnecessary because this is an anticipation of something that didn't happen. Since those rate cuts didn't go through, it drops back to the level that it was at before. So that drops it down to 46. So it's at around 46. I saw it drop to 45, which is a bit low, but it looks like it's supposed to stay around 46 because it rose from December. And then by the time that January 28th hit, since the rate cut didn't go through, I'm seeing it drop all the way back to where it was before it did that. Then it starts rising up again. And then when they said again they're going to hold the rates in March, it tanked. And that's what this last one was. So if we go back to, there it is, March. So when they come back out in March, they say, we're going to maintain the rates. Maintain the rate. There it is. See, so everything in this has to do with the rate cuts. And they're saying that the prediction is at 60% for a cut in December of this year, which means it is going to maintain the same amount of the same rate for interest rates. It's going to maintain that. It's anticipating not only for now, but until December. So from here until December, it probably won't break 46. Now, it might do some weird shit like this, but it'll probably take like 6 months. So it should take twice as long to go up as high as it did before. And it looks like people are so bearish in this that it has these bubbles like we saw in January. And that might happen too, but the stability of it is going to fall somewhere around 46 because it didn't move. If the rate doesn't move, then gold doesn't move. And the rate didn't move, so gold's not moving. And you can see way back here, it had, very little volatility. Maybe $100 of volatility here and there. Very little. A percentage or so. Nowadays, this thing, look at how much it shifted. It shifted 6% in a day. I mean, this is extreme volatility. This is just crazy. But they're saying that they're not anticipating another rate cut until December, but it will take another cut, they're saying. So it seems to be going from a bear to maybe not bull, from a bull to a bear market. So it's kind of retracting. I bought this thing at its height when it was at 52, and I've been taking losses ever since. And so far I've lost, 2,000? I think I've lost 2,000 on this fucking bullshit so far. Yeah, $2,000. I've lost $2,000. And honestly, it's even more than that. It's closer to 3. But now I know why, and it's because of these rate percentages. Okay. Okay, prepared to adjust the stance of monetary policy as appropriate if risks emerge that could impede the attainment of the committee's goals, such as returning inflation to its 2% objective. And I think they released some kind of a statement about it most likely not getting cut again until December. Oh, hell yeah. So, if it's not gonna change the amount of the rates, then it's probably gonna just sit here like this. bouncing back and forth between 45 and 46. I mean, that's probably what it's going to end up doing, baselining out. Just based off of everything that I've seen. So I'm predicting that all the way up until December, it's going to just sit around 46-ish, somewhere in there.